Hi everyone, we've got Datuk Dr. Ramlan Aziz in the house. Do remember to subscribe and press on the notification. Right now is the RSS with HD. Hi everyone, welcome to the RSS with HD extended this Wednesday with myself, Rashid, Salleh, as well as Harish Diol. We've got a very special guest. He's recently retired. Harish is going to do all the talking because he's going to be grilling him quite a bit on this show. Please welcome Dr. Ramlan Aziz. Hi sir, welcome to our show.
Hello, how are you? Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here.
Sir, thank you so much for coming on to the show. And for those who don't already know Dr. Ramlan Aziz, this is the man who was the former National Sports Council Director General, the former Chief Executive Officer of the National Sports Institute, the former Anti-Doping Agency of Malaysia Director. He clocked out for the last time on April 20th and turned 60 on April 21. And his next adventure, hopefully we'll find out soon.
Well, so no pressure, sir.
No, you missed out Chief Troublemaker, okay?
Yes. That's what he's also known as. But anyway, so Dr. Ramlan, thank you once again for coming on our show.
Yes, sorry.
Now, with regards to you clocking out for the last time on April 20th,
Okay.
What went through your mind while you were just punching out for the last time?
Well, it was really something that just happened on the day. I just happened to be there for some small items to be picked up and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And suddenly the staff reminded me that I need to have this photograph taken where I'm punching out. You know, the traditional situation, and then there'll be a cast of thousands behind you, right?
Yeah.
I have the good fortune having a cast of two behind me.
Yeah.
So I suppose that's it's rather surreal, to be retiring in during the MCO, because basically it's like something passed, like smoke in the wind, basically.
Yeah.
And before you know it, it's over.
Mm-hmm.
And then the days after that, I had time to reflect.
Mm-hmm.
And then there were a few newspaper reporters who called me and wanted to meet me because they wanted to in their own respective newspapers, and I complied because these people have been very good to me over the years. And I basically had time to reflect. One thing that came over me was that how in God's name did I ever do all of those things? because I had so many things to do. Right?
Yeah.
I remember, the only thing I remembered was an advice from a former Director General of Health, actually, who was my assistant when I was a student, and he said, because I was surprised, I said, are you still practicing? Yeah, even if we're DG, we still have to practice. So I took that on board, and all the way through, from the beginning until I retire, I still made it a point to see patients, because that's what I am essentially, a medical doctor. So
You speak about having time to reflect. Yeah. Have you ever thought that if you could go back, into time, what would you have done differently?
I would have. Of all the years, throughout all these years, the time when I was in National Sports Council was the one which really felt like a roller coaster.
I remember those days.
Yeah, because I was basically like a fish out of water, you see, right?
Yeah.
And then they themselves, they do not know what to expect. Suddenly, who's this guy? He's different from the one before, right? He's not whom we expected. So it was very much a merry dance, on almost daily basis. And of course, and then soon I found even the printed press was getting on my back, almost daily as well. Something's going on.
Yeah.
So the feeling then was one of a bit of isolation, Because basically there was the reason why I was appointed in the first place. The minister at the time, and she wanted to make sure that there was actually somebody different type. But if I had time to go back, and do things differently, I would have done so during that time. Because the time I was in the National Sports Institute was very much tethered deeply into my own medical practice, and what we did in sports science was an extension of that. We were talking about facts, figures, we measured things and all that. So there was something very familiar to all of us. And the guys were young, and I wouldn't change anything because it was all a nice adventure. We were friends while we were doing work. But those 2 years, that was different because I felt that perhaps there was a time when my blood pressure, raised a bit.
So what exactly would you have changed? What exactly? If there was one thing,
I would have asked the minister to get rid of a few people.
Okay. Would you like to name them?
Well, no.
I'm pushing my luck here, but yeah.
Look, you see, one of the things about my call it what you might, character, personality. I don't like to have enemies, right? I don't have to have that baggage. In fact, the ones who ought to have been out of the picture then are now on a friendly basis with me.
Okay.
You see, because life is short, and you have a lot of things to do. You cannot be, weighed down by issues with people in terms of personalities and all that. There's so much to be done.
Right.
So, and I would have allowed a few more senior people who are on my side, so that whatever that we needed to do can be done, more effectively, and without any pressure and all that. So that was the only thing. Apart from that, I loved the experience.
Okay.
And it prepared me well for the next phase of my career then, because right after that they made me DG of the National Sports Institute, and that was a bit many years before that, when I was first appointed in 1996 as the division director of the National Sports Institute. Basically, that was like a Felda explorer, Felda, you basically went and you look at it, it's a jungle, okay? You have to really beat a new path, clear the jungle, and suddenly there's a plantation. But of course, many years after that, somebody might well come around and burn that plantation down. But there you go. That is a risk. You do what you do in your own time. In the future, you just leave it to God, because nobody's in control of anything after you have left, a certain set of responsibilities, and also a job. So there, you have to have a sense of peace,
Yep.
And the easy answer to your searching question would be to say that I wouldn't change a thing. All right. Okay? But the thing I have to mention here is that domestically, my life was good. Okay? It is still good. My wife was the rock behind me, under me, and she kept everything fine. The children all well behaved. Nobody has become reprobate or criminal, right?
Okay.
Grew up nicely. While I, skedaddle off somewhere, place and that place, and then doing all this sports medicine, sports science, sports management, all in one go. And I formed a few very strong ideas about, at least I feel so, about how we ought to engage athletes and coaches and emphasize or prioritize their requirements and their needs.
Yeah.
And if I had that insight, if I have that insight then that I have now, perhaps then I could have applied and made sure that emphasis was started from all these years ago, and not towards the end of my time, around 2013, this my second time as a National Sports Institute Director General or CEO. The title really doesn't matter to me, right? As long as I got the Resident Romeo title, all well and fine. So that's the most important thing. If I had that insight, I would have started something earlier, so that we can truly have more time to change the culture, because that's basically what the trouble is, because
Culture.
Yes, and we're so easily given to perpetuating the same culture, the same approach because we're comfortable. Nobody's comfortable doing new things, having new approaches and all that.
But isn't that a Malaysian thing?
No, no.
We get too comfortable easily.
I think it's universal because when I go anywhere around the world, my colleagues, sports medicine, anti-doping, we all have the same issues, because people like a formula, they like cookbook recipe type of solutions, right? It takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of effort to come up with solutions specific to a given situation. Okay, everybody wants the easy cookbook recipe situation where, okay, problem number one, recipe number one. But that sort of situation is where it is a human failing, you see, to get the low hanging fruit, to get maximum benefit out of a little effort. So I can understand that, but good things do not come easy. That's one thing I know. And you really have to work at it. And I have to commend my colleagues at the National Sports Institute. They were really good people. They are all good people. And we would not be where we are without their contributions as well.
Sir, speaking about recipes and cookbooks, now, there's not going to be any recipe or cookbook with regards to COVID-19.
Yeah.
Yeah? And we're living in really uncertain times. And how has the partial lockdown and this whole COVID-19 episode affected the periodization plan of our national athletes?
Well, it's messed up everything, hasn't it?
Yes, it has.
You can't say that, I've got this plan and I just look at it and I can modify it and see, You just have to start from scratch because the initial plan was based on a certain situation where everybody is healthy and there's nothing out there, unseen enemy. Now there's an unseen enemy and you can have somebody approach you and he looks fine. There's nothing wrong with him. He has no symptoms. But yet then, you get the transmission from that guy. So I feel that the thing about the new normal is something. I remember I had a conversation with my wife the other day. She's a doctor too as well. And she said, what new normal? It was the old normal for me because at work she wears a mask, she has gloves on and all that. Because these are the habits that people have to be careful with. You really have to. So in a way, it will change the society worldwide. This is not just about Malaysia, of course. But the thing about this is that people have to have the strength and fortitude to weather through this. This is the thing that I was worried in the beginning. One thing about sports and athletes is that people think that this is a special community, right? They have they're above certain things. But no, because sports is still a cross-section of society at large. So we really have to do whatever we need for our needs in sport, right? With society in mind. Because that's why you do it anyway. We don't win medals to do what? To get glory and satisfaction for 3 or 4 weeks, and then we have no effect on society at all. That would be a big loss.
If you were given a chance to meet, I know that you've not managed to meet the new Youth and Sports Minister, Datuk Sri Rizal American.
No, I haven't had the pleasure yet, no.
Okay. But if you had a chance to meet him, what would you like to tell him? I'm sure you've got a lot of things to tell him.
It would depend, because ministers are not the same, they're different guy, different priorities and all that. You really have to, because the idea is to serve the athlete and the athlete's performance, right? So I would expect the main question from every minister will be, how do we improve the athlete's performance? And under normal circumstances, that will be quite easy to talk about. And before you know it, I suppose my 15 minutes will be up. And when I really need an hour to explain things.
Yeah, your 15 minutes is pretty much almost up, but we'll carry on.
Okay, right. So
because been lucky that I've kept my mouth very silent because I have a lot of questions, but that's why I'm letting Harish do all the talking.
Thanks, Rashid. Anyway, I suppose quite a long conversation.
Right? Okay.
Okay, because the things I've done before, It's not anything. The mistakes that we made along the way is are the things that we need to learn from. The saying, you either win or you learn. You don't lose if you learn.
Yes.
So that's the thing. So people will say, "Oh, this Otai, well, what is it that he's talking about? What does he know?" I may not know what comes to the future. I may not be, the best thing since sliced bread, but I would really love to share my thoughts and my experiences with it. Yes.
Okay. Rashid, do you have any questions before we move to a very short quiz for Dr. Ramlan Aziz?
Well,
Quiz, eh?
What have you been doing? I mean, I have a lot of questions because I'm also the current president of Malaysia Mixed Martial Arts, but I'm not going to go there at the moment.
Oh, okay.
So, and we've
Congratulations, I never knew.
Pardon?
Congratulations, I never knew.
Well, it's been a year plus, and luckily we've gained a couple of really good medals with the 3-4 national athletes that we've had. However, just moving forward for present time, obviously you said music is in your blood. So what have you been doing of late in the last month or so in MCO?
Well, I've been neglecting so much in my personal life. Of course, family things are family things. What I've done is I've had time to service my guitars. I do my own servicing. So I have to adjust and then change the strings, that sort of thing. Okay. And I do play drums as well. So these are the two instruments I play, and so does my brother, but he plays the keyboards as well. So he's got one advantage over me. And the thing that music is something that gives you a bit of a outlet, basically. And sometimes the music that I think Harish knows about this. Sometimes the lyrics in music teaches you a lot of things about life. If you look at The Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd, it's all about life. The titles Time, Money, Us and Them, so on and so forth. So you do absorb a lot of good philosophy through music because it's still art and philosophy. Yeah.
Well, we can't even trust.
Okay.
We better not translate Smoke on the Water then. Okay.
Okay. Last but not least, here's the thing. So I'm going to just give you 2 words, and you're just going to pick which is which you prefer. Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Okay. So number 1, Led Zeppelin or Pink Floyd?
Pink Floyd.
Fender or Gibson?
Fender.
Guitar or drums?
Drums.
Banana leaf rice or nasi kandar?
Nasi kandar.
You disappointed me.
No. Penang lah. Why Penang?
Football or badminton?
Football.
Okay, during your time in office, you preferred National Sports Council or National Sports Institute?
National Sports Institute.
Facebook or Twitter?
Facebook.
Teh tarik kurang gula or kopi O?
Teh tarik kurang gula.
So for upcoming raya, lemang or ketupat?
Ketupat.
Ketupat. Khairi Jamaluddin or Syed Saddiq?
None of them. Of course, Khairi Jamaluddin, because I spent a lot of time with him, you see.
Okay.
Yes, I did. And it gives me a lot of opportunities to explore new ideas and all that. So fair. Fair enough, yeah.
Well, thank you for being a sport, sir.
Yeah, so no problem. It's been fun.
Well, thank you very much, sir, for joining us on this show. Of course, we'd like to thank Amnig, our apparel sponsors for the show. Do subscribe to the show. Do turn on the notification. And finally, thank you again, Dr. Ramlan Aziz, for joining us on the RSS with HD Extended. Do you have any last words before? And please make it short.
Well, just be careful out there, all of us. Figures may be down, but they're not out yet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's very, very true. Well, that's it from us.
Thank you, sir.
From myself and Harish, you have been watching the RSS with HD Extended. Bye-bye.
Bye.